Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Sparks Plays Minecraft. We're on the ALP server as usual. I nearly fell then. My sprint broke. So let's go see from last episode whether we have any sales. There's a sign, I have not checked this out yet. Check your messages. Ooh, 2 stacks of flesh, fantastic. And this is the book and quill we left with suggestions so that you can suggest other things to sell. So, I wonder what they bought, hang on. Trying to see what's missing. Oh, it looks like they bought a gas tier. I think that might have been ZaCloud. Let me check my messages. Let's see what's been written in here. Blackjack. So these are things that people think should be available in this shop. Blackjack, cocktail waitresses, a well-stocked bar, poker, shiny lights, sporks, foons, fat wads of cash, skinny wads of hash, rufflecopters, velociraptors, doge, wireless access point, kitchen sink, bathroom, Rick Astley's... Oh my god, this is 5 pages long. Blame Crazy Man's, AK-47's, knob oil, a box of jokes, a joke of a box, Mona Lisa, moaning Lisa, Big Ben's, bulging bells, a bin, crumpets, trumpets, 3 gold bars, chocolate cookies, a jungle, 2 jungles, novels, spell check, hose, cool temperatures. What on earth is this? Flames, more book pages, toilet paper. I've just created more pages. You see that? It says 7 now. Internet's mirror. Okay, this looks like mostly based on rufflecopters. I think this was Androcon, but it's hard to tell. It could be anybody. Everyone's mad on this server. Anyway, the reason we're starting this episode at the hub, not that there's any particular need for a reason. It's a lovely place to hang out. Very, very green and lovely. The reason is, I walked past it. This CD collection for dance club. Please contribute. So ZaCloud is wanting to, over there, beyond those wooden pillars, she wants to build a dance club and she needs music for it. And there's some pretty fancy prizes for music. I'm especially looking at these name tags. Oddly, like any stack of these for a name tag, I think. Oddly, there's 1 stack of 6 and 1 stack of 5, so I don't know about that. I do need name tags. And there's some pretty fancy books as well, so the plan for the start of this episode is to go and try and get some creepers shot by skeletons. I have a weak bow on me, which I should be able to use to knock the creepers down for a fair bit in health. And I'm going to go over to Aerophyte's, see how I nearly called it ZaCloud's, Aerophyte's skeleton farm, to see if I can get some blast protection and projectile protection armor. Doesn't the hub look fantastic now the scaffolding's gone? I think it looks incredible. Look at that. I think that's very neat. Androcon's been building staircases. Not all of the staircases are done yet. I think there's 2 to go. But I think it looks pretty snazzy, to be honest. So yeah. Hang on. Shh. I thought I heard a blaze. That was weird. Huh. I'm getting paranoid. Oh look, skeleton farm right here. Very good. They're not angry. We angered the pigmen earlier. Oh, what? Oh, come on! Seriously, these guys have no respect. Okay, so the skeleton farm is just down here, and we'll go and see what we have. We should be able to get some good armor from down here. I'm pretty sure it's free for anybody to take, so and it is really building up, so oh, projectile protection 4, very good. We also want blast protection. Okay, I'm feeling pretty well equipped. We've got a projectile protection 4 helmet, and the same for the leggings, and blast protection 4 on there, and 5 protection for good measure just because they happen to be on the boots. I think that's pretty good. All of the armor is a little worn down, but we're going to have to try and avoid taking damage anyway. I guess all we need to do now really is head over to somewhere dark. There's actually over here is probably a good place at the other end of this rail. And oh, it is dark. Perfect. Let's see if we can seek out some skeletons and creepers to bother. So yeah, I've got my weak bow and my strong bow, so I can whittle down the creeper's health a little bit, so they only need one hit. And yeah, okay, right. So let me head over and see what we can do. Oh, the zombie got in the way. Oh no. Ouch! Oh god! Yes! Success! No! Oh no! Ah! The record's over there! Go away! Stay back! Okay. Let's go get that record. Oh, that doesn't look good. That looks like the one that she already has. Oh, no, I don't... She might not have that one. I don't know. Day is dawning. I think the experimentation may be at an end soon. This has been difficult. Certainly harder than I'd anticipated. Well, that was certainly exciting. Nearly died there, and we only got one record. I actually accidentally killed several creepers. That bow is a bit too powerful. I think I need to hit them once rather than twice. I think the problem is power bows deal a random amount of damage. That might be the problem. Okay, so we have Far. What does she need? Oh, that's the one I thought she had. Fantastic. Far. Let's take Far and put Far in. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Right. So, I definitely want some name tags. I can't believe she's offering 6 name tags for a record. That's just too good to be true, right? I'm going to take half of them. I feel like 3 name tags is still a very good deal for a record. And I might go and see whether I can get her another record for the other 3 or something. I think Crazy Man wants some name tags. I don't want to steal them all from everyone else on the server. But my plans for my solo stuff do require some more name tags. Let's take this flesh while we're here. Excellent, excellent. I guess I might go hunt some more. Well, I spent another 2 nights or so trying to get records and didn't have any luck. It's actually quite tricky to do. So I kind of gave up and made a floor instead. Yeah, look at that. I decided to splash out a bit. I think I had more quartz than I needed, really. So we've got this kind of low contrast pattern, which I think looks okay. It goes kind of well with the clay and things, but it also looks kind of nice and fancy. A thunderstorm has just broken out outside my window, so I may not be able to record for very long. Thunderstorms or rain in general seems to... Even if the sun shines too bright, my internet stops working, to be honest. So we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, so we've got this floor here, which I think looks fairly nice. And one of the things I want to do is light this place up using my power plant. So if we run out of power, we will not have any light down here, which could be a potential mob problem. So there's 2 things we want to think about. First of all, obviously, we want to light it. And second of all, in case of a power outage, we want to sort of backup if possible. So I'm thinking, since we're open to the air over here, we may as well keep this as a window. So we've got, if it's day and the power cuts out, at least we have natural light lighting up, say, half of this area without the lamps. I have plans for rechargeable batteries, backup generators, things like that, which we'll probably get into later on. But you know, in general, the lighting is going to have to go in here. I was thinking about putting it on the floor. If we hang on. Sorry, I have this tickly cough that I can't seem to shift. If the lighting was in the floor, we could space the lights out quite evenly. But I don't think it will look very good in the floor, so we're going to put it in the ceiling. We're going to put it 4 blocks up, which means we can get away with putting lights every 6 blocks, I believe. So the ceiling will be at this height here, not necessarily made out of half slabs. And the lamps will be every 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another lamp, which should give us a constant light level, which is fairly spaced out. And I think that ceiling is an okay height as well. That's level with the top of those chests. We can't make it any higher because if I make these full blocks a second, there's now a 1 block space between the floor and this, and we need to run wiring to power the lamps. So I think 4's a good height for down here. I'm glad about that because lowering the floor would have been a pain at this point. There's a lot of quartz in here. I do still have a fair amount of quartz, to be honest. I seem to have over-collected it, but we haven't used as much as I thought. So, yeah, we're doing that for the ceiling. And I think I mentioned this last episode, but I sort of wanted some sort of window here. Maybe with an S symbol or something for sparks. But what I'm thinking is, this room is huge. And that almost scares me in a way. Like, oh wow, there's lightning outside now. Sorry, I'm getting distracted, but I'm slightly worried about my internet. I don't know how well you heard that. Thunderstorms are not that common in England, so I'm kind of excited. I love thunderstorms. They're very fun, even in Minecraft, but in real life they're even better. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. So the room is very large, and I do not have a giant car to drive around it like you do with those big underground open plan car parks things. So what I kind of want to do is have pillars every now and again, sort of splitting this room into maybe 3 or 4 parts. And I'll be doing sort of I need some demonstrative blocks, really, that aren't half slabs. Let me get some cobblestone. There we go. So yeah, I kind of want to get some sort of curved arches going. And I'm going to have to look this up, exactly how this is going to look. But we'd sort of have a bit of a curve like this, and then it would come back down around here to the floor, and then it would go back up again here. Oops. Like so. Oh, I can't place today. And you know, this would sort of break the room up a little bit. So we'd have these sort of archways separating part of the rooms. I might make this central column a bit thinner. So we almost have like doorways every now and again leading through between the areas. And then each area can sort of be designated to an extent as to what it's for. These arches aren't actually that bad considering I'm just building them on the spot. Look at that. Fantastic. We'll even keep them cobblestone. So it's sort of a bit of a curved feel. I might actually make it so that the bottom of the... Because if you look, we've got 2 here, right? So if we go 1, 2, it will go out again here. So I'd almost make it kind of a... That is not even, is it? There we go. Kind of like that. So almost like a circular arch. We can use stairs or something to make it a bit smoother. And I think that will make an interesting effect. And it will split the room up a little bit. And once we get over to here, we can almost have like a curved window. Like the window can bulge out a little bit. Although I don't know how well that plan will work with my plans for putting a logo on the front of this. I'll have to play around with it a bit off camera, I think. Well, I realised that I wasn't really thinking very straight here. When I said every 6 blocks in the ceiling, it turns out to get enough light level on the floor, we're going to need one every 3. However, on the floor, you need it every 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, every 7. This bit in the middle here looks like it's a 7 spot, if you look at the block light just here. But if you go down to the actual floor level, you see it is actually a block light of 8. So, even though I would have preferred the lights in the ceiling, that many lights in the ceiling looks kind of weird in itself. whereas they're a lot more spaced out in the floor. So I may have to put them in the floor, and I could always sort of incorporate them into the pillars, maybe. I think that space is a bit too little between pillars, but maybe we can work something out. I don't know. So I think I'm gonna go with the floor, because this is just too many lamps. Not necessarily to do with price, but to do with how weird it makes the ceiling look. So I think I'm just gonna go for a solid wood ceiling. Yeah, we'll do it that way. I don't know. We'll have to play around with it a little bit. All right, guys. This is it. The grand turning on. I've not tried this yet. This is the actual power switch for the lights, so we can turn the lights off if we want. And this button here is just hooked up via a wire to the green start button for the generator, because the generator is currently off. So if we try and turn the lights on right now, the generator is off, so that the power plant is off, so there's no power. However, if we start the generator, we should see, fingers crossed, I've not tried this yet, we should see the lights turn on. Give it a moment. Okay, well, they turned on for a moment. Let's see if they come back on, maybe? I'll show you what's going on, and we will... It appears to be flashing. Why is it flashing? There's also sheep in my wiring. Alright, I worked out what the problem was. This repeater was a piece of redstone dust, and when it was dust, it was powering that torch there, and that torch is responsible for the power line, for the power output of the farm. So now whenever there's a repeater here, I've put a repeater on the power line to stop them interfering. So the farm was effectively, the generator was turning itself off and back on again in a cycle. So that's now been fixed. So if we head back down there, we should see it working now. The lights are off, so it might have spawned some mobs in there now. Should be careful. We're all good. Okay. My ceiling keeps spawning spiders in it because it's a one high gap, so I'm going to have to put some torches up there. But we should try this now. If we turn the lights on... Yeah! Fantastic. But if we ran out of power or the generator turned off, then that light switch wouldn't work anymore. Let's try it out. I should have put a power off as well. Right. Did I click it? Yeah, I did. I think so. Yeah. Okay, so the power output is now off. The generators run out of power, and the lamps are off. And there's a lot of spiders. Oh dear. A nest of them. See, this I like this. I think it's great that if I run out of power, I pay for it. They all have potion effects as well. Stay back! Where'd the last one go? Okay. Anyway. There you are. Bye. Okay, right. So now the power switch will do nothing because there's no power for it. But if we turn the generator back on again, then I can't remember which way is on. I doubt I want to turn it off very often, but that seems to be working now, and that's actually drawing power out of the system as well. So if we go down here, I will show you what's going on. So obviously we have redstone connecting all of the torches, all of the lamps, and that just runs under the floor here in a long line with a couple of repeaters, and that's all connected up to the actual power supply, the power line, which is down here. So this is the redstone line, from which you may remember from quite a while ago. This is the actual main power cable. And we've got some stuff going on here. So, our power switch, our power line is on the other end of this long route. That's just the power switch by the door. And I'm just blocking it off so creepers don't get at me. So when... I can't get up. Oh man, I need proper... stuff here. Okay. Right. So, this is the output again. So, when the power turns on from this power switch, it pushes this piston up, and that puts a block between this comparator and this this dropper with an item in it. And that means that because there's an item in there, it powers the comparator, and that takes 1 away from the signal strength. This comparator here is set to subtraction mode. And at the same time, when you flick the power switch by the door, it runs a little wire along there, and it pushes this block from this piston out as well. And that allows the output, this is actually pulling the power out of the mains power, to run along here, to up to the lamps. This torch is just here so that the dropper is always powered, so it never spits anything out, because this wire turns on and off. If the power runs out, of course, then this repeater turns off, and then the output line turns off as well. So it seems to work. That's it's officially our first thing connected up to our power supply. There's a reason to have it turned on now. Very good, very good. And this should give a bit of extra light. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but the lights, I could put them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks in between each one. I've done 5 though, just to make it a little bit. Well, firstly, it's odd numbers, which is nicer to work with, and secondly, it's they're a bit closer together, so the middle isn't quite as visually quite as dark. So I think that's pretty neat. I don't think I'll ever really need to turn these off. The only time would be if I am sort of struggling for flesh or running out of power or something. So the switch is probably not going to be used very often, but maybe like during the day I could have the ones by the window turned off if they're not needed, although I'm not really saving power that way. They're all connected up. I've decided, by the way, that if a redstone... I heard something. If a redstone device is using more than 64 things, lamps, pistons, dispensers, droppers, any sort of active output thing like that, it will, if it uses more than 64 of them, it will need to have 2 power points drawn out of the cable rather than 1. So there's a limit to how big something gets before it can draw more power, which I think just makes sense, really. Okay, so pretty successful stuff's happening this episode, I think. Let's go sleep on our lawn. He had flesh in his hand. Thank you, kind sir, for your gift. And I think that's going to be about it for today. Yeah, I think that's about it. Time flies as usual. I will probably work some more on this off camera to get this this room looking a bit nicer, and this ceiling needs lighting up, and it definitely needs breaking up a bit as well somehow. It's just the moment it's a very one colour thing, and it's quite dark up there as well. So yeah, things to do. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.